Welcome to Where Wisdom Speaks. I am the sacred plug, LaShonda Durden. So excited to have you here with us today for episode number 2 of
Oh,
Where Wisdom Speaks. So, we want to welcome to the show today an expert in the life insurance industry. He has been around for almost 10 years in this game, putting in all the work, doing double duty, making sure that he is protecting his community and people understand the options that are available through life insurance, retirement planning, and just making a solid plan in general. So I would love for you all to welcome with me Mr. Tony Burke. He is the CEO and founder of ADB Worldwide Solutions. So they just not in one place, they are worldwide.
all
So
right.
Mr. Burke, brother Tony, thank you so much for being here today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it very
You're
much
welcome.
so.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you and I were able to meet through Experior Financial Group, specifically through the 120 agency plan, which is a four-step system that helps insurance agents to plug their clients in, to plug their
Mhm.
agents into an amazing system that gets them up and running, gets them making money in a timely manner, and helps everything to work like clockwork. So tell me a little bit about how did you come to know the 120 agency plan? Let's start there.
Well, it came by my introduction to Experior Financial Group. So I was with my upline had at another IMO, and when she decided to leave, I decided to leave as well because at that IMO, we weren't comfortable. Uh, we didn't own our book of business and, you know, other things that we were displeased with. So when she left and I came to Experior and under our great leader and executive director, Mr. Eric Robinson and Dr. Mary Robinson, they are the creators of 120 Agency Plan and the group of USAX. So that's how I came about to joining in with USAX and 120 Agency Plan.
Awesome, awesome. And so where are you located?
I'm in Midlothian, Virginia, which is, a few steps outside of Richmond, Virginia. One
I
of
was
the
born in
so
Fort Belvoir. I tell people that's all I know is I was born there. Don't ask me about no road, no street, no lane.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
And I assume there's a military base.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So how did you get into the insurance industry?
Well, it fell into my lap, and literally because I was on my job because I do this part time and had some situations happen where I was working overtime anymore. And it felt good not to work all that overtime, but the money that came with the overtime was, I was like, oh, I need some more money. I don't live off of overtime, thankfully. I live off of about 40 hours and the overtime is just extra. So I was looking for more money, and the thing that I wanted was more money without working all, 5, 6, up to 8 hours overtime every day. I wanted something that I could do a couple of hours in the evenings from home and make that same amount of money. And just so happens, my upline, I had called her and invited her to join another business that I'm involved with. And so happens she's already involved with that business. And I said, okay, cool, cool, great. You like it? She said, but I have something for you. She said, how do you feel about life insurance? I said, well, tell me about it. And from there, it took off and boom. A year after that, ended up at Experior Financial Group.
Right, right. Awesome. And so how has your experience been so far transitioning into an agent with Experior?
It's been great. It's been wonderful. It's like everything I've been looking for in one package, one stop. Business ownership, legacy plan, owning your book of business, shares in the company, a business owner, individual. I have multiple businesses, so I'm a business owner coming in, and then they say, "Hey, you're a business owner out of the gate here at Xperia." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So
Just one more income stream. No
yeah, yeah,
problem. No
you know,
problem.
and I like that you said that because that's my mentality. I'm climbing the ladder. I'm in good shape, good health, but I do not want to, that 9 to 5. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. So I'm like, I need multiple streams of income. And what does retirement look like for me?
Hmm.
I've always been on that, and I was fortunate enough to have became aware of that back in my 40s. I
Hmm.
started putting plans together. I have my own Roth IRA. I have my own 401k through my own vehicles, not the job vehicles. And
Okay.
and I have my own life insurance policy. So, you know, not being dependent upon corporate America for my retirement has been my mentality since my early 40s.
Right. So why? So you say that, you started thinking about your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
What does your retirement look like?
It looks great, especially with Xperia, because now, by doing life insurance, everything, I've written my own annuity. I've written another Roth IRA for myself. So now and then I have another life insurance policy. So now my future looks even brighter
Mhm.
especially with Xperia, because number one, I'm doing a business that does not require me to leave my home, does not require me to lift anything heavy, and pays me very well. So
Mhm.
now my focus and my energy is on staying healthy. That's all I need to do is just stay healthy. And then because the business is going to generate income for the rest of my life. Not only that, once I achieve the status of executive director, I can qualify for a legacy plan. And now that legacy plan is guaranteed to pay me a portion of my, or, depending on which level of legacy I'm at, would pay me a percentage of my business for the rest of my life. And not only that, I can assign it to my beneficiary, and they can assign it to their beneficiary, because the legacy plans at Experior Financial Group pay out forever.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that once you pass away with this company, you have the ability to like will it to your family, or is that what you're saying? Like, because
I'm
I that
saying,
that
I'm saying you can assign a beneficiary to your book of business once you reach executive director, and that person will have to assign a beneficiary, because the payments, the outcome, the output of that generated income does not stop once you reach. I think gold legacy plan is where that starts forever. So you
wow.
have the bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and double platinum. So once you reach gold, that's like forever. And
That
then
is absolutely, absolutely amazing. Wow. Y'all better check in with Tony and see how you do that, because that is an awesome opportunity for building generational wealth. One of the things that we have been talking about has been helping men, especially to understand, men who are Christians or other faith traditions, doesn't have to be Christianity, people who believe that a person should leave an inheritance to their family.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So often,
That's what the I try, and I when I say it, I tell people beforehand, listen, I ain't trying to get you saved or baptize you or change your beliefs, but the Bible says a wise man leaves wealth to his children's children. So
absolutely,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So it sounds like you're saying that the way that these plans that you have, the Roth and the insurance, life insurance plan, how will those help you in your retirement? Help us to understand, how. Like, I mean, we've heard of life insurance. You get life insurance
Mm-hmm,
on your job. You get life
mm-hmm,
insurance through you can, I guess, go to some companies. People understand that you can go to a carrier and buy
mm-hmm,
insurance. But how does it work because any insurance that most people know about is insurance you pay, let's say, $50 a month for $500,000 worth of coverage. And we think we good. We think that, okay, you got this and you're straight. Is that what you're talking about as far as the plans, this in life insurance and Roth? Help us to understand what you mean by that.
Okay, sure. Well, when there are things set up in the insurance industry that can pay you for the rest of your life, such as annuities, and the design of them have been instituted and changed over time because of Social Security. Social Security has a problem. Social Security was designed for people because their average lifespan at the time it was created was 75 years old. The average lifespan was 75.
Okay.
Today, the average lifespan is in between 85 and 90. People are living longer, period. That's a fact. So now Social Security is in trouble only because of the design of it from the beginning has been overtaken by long people living longer, and also people not working. So that those are the two factors was has the biggest threat against Social Security. And life insurances have the companies have lobbied against their Congress and Senate and all that. So now laws are in place, and the main one is you cannot lose money in an annuity or a life insurance policy by law. That's the law. Don't ask me what law it is, but that's the law.
So it
So
literally says you cannot lose money.
you cannot lose money in an annuity or life insurance policy by law. That's the
So is
law.
there some special club you need to be in to get into this type of situation? Because we've heard of annuities before. We've heard of other classes of people, the wealthy class of people
Mm-hmm.
getting, I guess it's the same type of life insurance policies that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
getting these life insurance policies. What you got to do to get put in the game?
Get with a licensed life insurance agent, such as yourself or me, and
Okay.
let us educate you on the proper way to purchase your annuity and
Mhm.
how to get in. Because even for us, these companies will not allow us to design an annuity that's going to fail. They just won't
Mm.
let you do it because
Wow.
they were like, hey, you need to go back and rethink this thing and get it right, But once you know what you're doing and you know the numbers, how to work the numbers, it's going to make sense. It's going to have a payout from to age 99, which we like to say the rest of your life. Most IULs, index universal life policies. My first goal is to get that policy to run to age 120. And a lot of my clients say, who's going to live to age 120? I say, it's not a point of you living to age 120. The point is that I'm designing it to go to age 20. So I know one thing when it does that, it's never going to lose money. It's
Mm.
never going. Once that policy goes to age 120, I don't even have to think about it. The money's always growing. So that's number
Right.
one. So you know, and to answer your question, so we use these vehicles for retirement in the way that annuity, like I said once, you turn it on at your age, you figure you want to retire. That's an annual income, or and my advice is do an annual income instead of a monthly income, because you know the longer your money sits in the pot, the more it grows. So and that's what I tell people. So you can do monthly, but I would advise you to do annual and
Right.
become and learn how not to spend your money at one time.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And the
So
same.
you
Yeah,
budget and allocate.
yes, yes. And the
Okay.
same with an IUL. We can design an IUL to make disbursements at a certain
Okay.
age. And
Wow.
now you're getting disbursements from your life insurance policy as well as still possessing a death benefit at the same
Mm.
time. So, and
Okay.
not only that, you have cash value as well for those emergency situations.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is like some secret service type information is what that feels like you're giving up data that shouldn't be given up. Like it should
Yeah.
be protected at all costs. And unfortunately, we know that this
Uh,
information has been protected at all costs for a long time.
and
The
that's
plan. Go ahead.
hmm and that's our a part of our mission. We are on a mission we're called industry disruptors. So we're out
Okay.
here, you know, we're on to this secret that the wealthy have been on to for so many years. And now at USAX, what we like to say is we're bringing it from Wall Street to Main Street. That's
Okay.
our spread.
Yeah.
From Main Street to Wall, either way you want to say it, we're educating everyone in between because we
Mm-hmm.
have products that are for the wealthy. Some products that like you have a $30,000 minimum uh, premium for, and some you can do $300 or $30 a month premium. So
So you're saying that some of these plans you can literally start with $30 a month, so you don't have to have $1 million already in the bank, is what I hear you
yes,
saying,
yes.
in order to get these started.
Yes, ma'am. My clients, when they talk to me and they say how much, I said, I'll tell you how much when you tell me your budget. Exactly that. Tell me your
Mhm.
budget. In fact,
Mhm.
let's do your green sheet because your green sheet is going to tell me what your budget is.
Okay, now help me understand what a green sheet is. Help us to understand, what are you doing? What is a green sheet? Because this right here is a green sheet that I got.
Well, our
What's the
green sheet
difference?
is everybody gets a green sheet. Our
Uh,
green sheet is what I like to call it the map. A lot of people like the map. I said it's the map. It helps me navigate the market for you to take you and through the market and get you to the best product for you and the
mhm,
best situation for you. It's customization. It's customized, it's confidential, and it's quick. But
mhm,
it's an expert financial analysis. It tells us exactly where your money is, tells you it has features in it that shows you, help you with your budget because you're going to get a copy of your green sheet where you can actively go in there periodically, change your budget around. It's going to show you, how much you're actually saving, what you need to do to change it to in order to save more. Not only that, we have products such as prepaid legal services, score navigator, debt cancellation programs in there. All of that is on the green sheet. So once you get your green sheet started, now your financial future takes a change. And
mhm,
now you start to learn why the wealthy stay wealthy and the rich stay rich.
mhm. So is there a charge for getting this information, for setting up an appointment with you? How does that work as far as getting this knowledge into the hands of individual people? How do people
It
reach out to you?
It is absolutely free. And if they want to reach out to me, you can reach me at adbworldwidesolutions.com, or you can simply call 844-726-2332, or you can even text that I need an appointment to 844-726-2332. It's that easy. It's that easy. It's
Awesome.
few minutes of your time, doesn't cost you anything, doesn't cost you anything to do your green sheet. It doesn't cost you. You do not pay anything until you are approved for your policy and they do an automatic draft in your bank account. And until then, you don't have to dig in your pocket for any money.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all, the options are here. We no
Mm-hmm.
longer have the excuse of, I didn't know. We are here to share this information. When you hit up Tony, please let him know that you saw his interview on Where Wisdom Speaks. So we
Yeah.
know that what we're doing is working. We already know it's working. So we just want to make sure that everyone gets the information they need. Now, before we go, I want to switch gears a minute and I want to ask you about these questions, a couple of questions I have, few questions I have
Mm-hmm.
are for us to get to know you a little bit better, to
Mm-hmm.
understand who you are. And so I've got three quick questions I'm going to ask you, and you just respond however you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no right or wrong. There's no which way I want you to go. It doesn't have to necessarily
Mm-hmm.
be a insurance specific response. Okay. So
Okay.
I've done a lot of networking over the years and I've met people, and as I get to know them better, I'm like, oh wait a minute. You introduced yourself to me as like the candy lady, but you got 15 books and you doing all this other stuff. Like, who are you? So I like to always ask people, what do you do to get to know you better? So however you want to answer that question, what do you do, Tony?
I help people. I help people, and I care about uh people, and my family cares about people. I come from a long history of teachers, educators. My grandmother was my absolute best friend ever in the world, and she was a retired school teacher. I have two aunts that are retired principals. I have a stepmother that was a retired principal, and two cousins that were retired principals. So I come from education. My great grandfather was president of the bank that Maggie L. Walker created. Uh, so that history of financial industry is in my bloodline as well. So, and I don't know if too many people may or may not know of Maggie Walker, but she was the first Black bank owner, and a female at that, in the United States. So that's that type of history is running through my bloodline. And so in today's time, all I do is I just care about people. I want to help them. I want them to be financially literate, and you know, learn some of the things that I'm learning, because I'm always learning. I'm always strategizing. I'm always looking for a better way, and I'm always looking for multiple streams of income as a business owner. There's no reason for many of us to own our own businesses and just be free to live, free to do what we want to do. So if there's anything I can help with anybody to help them achieve that, that's what I love to do. I love to help people.
Awesome, amazing. And how do you get paid?
I get paid many different ways. Some of my payment is just for somebody just saying thank you. Like I go into the government assisted communities, and I give donations. I give clothes. I give supplies. I give food. Household items. And that thank you is payment enough for me, and that blesses me. But the financial payment in this industry, in this business, is amazing, especially at Experior, because number one, we have what I like to say the highest paying commissions in the industry. Now that could be simply my opinion, but it's up there. I haven't seen anything comparable to it, and if there is, I just haven't seen it. And also, the legacy plan, and just once you do business, it kind of comes, you start to generate things that are automatic. Like when you get into the health industry, you know, they pay their premium, you get paid. So that's like a monthly payment. So now you're creating avenues and streams of income, especially some that are consistent, that come in every month. So that's what, and add that to the salary from a full-time job. You sit back, you like, yeah,
Okay, like I got more to invest.
yeah, and especially if you're like me, if this helps anybody, there are three things that I do or say to myself when I get to making a purchase in the store. Let's say that, uh, and I see something and I want it, and I say, okay, do you want this or do you need this? And if you need it, do you have to have it right now? And once I put that into practice, I'm telling you, folks, that changed my bank account dramatically, because my issue was impulsive spending, buying. and have something I need it, but it sits around for 2, 3 months before I use it. Like paint, let's
Right,
just say paint.
right.
I want to paint
Yeah,
this room, but I go in the store and buy the paint, and the paint sit in the garage for 6 months.
right,
That money could have been in my bank account for 6 months because I didn't need it right then.
right
So
then.
that
Wow.
so that kind of helps you, that if that helps anybody, there you go. You know.
Thank you. Awesome. That's great advice. Thank you. And then finally, how do you give back?
I give back with my time, volunteering, of course, like I said earlier, donations. Uh, I also have trainings for my team. And due to the fact of some other things going on, I suspended my trainings, but now they're getting ready to come back and they're going to be on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. And so I'm looking forward to that because a lot of young people are needed in this industry. And I tell a lot of people, when you think about life insurance, when your mom and your dad used to get life insurance, who was that person that came, to give it to you? And the answer is always the white guy with the three-piece suit on in the briefcase. I say, exactly.
Forever,
Now,
everywhere.
now look at the agent. Look at me, the green sheet t-shirt, some jeans and tennis shoes. And not only that, all you got to do is click the link and you're on my Zoom and boom, now we're having a meeting. We're getting you covered. And not only that, I care about you. So I want to
Mhm.
know some information about you. I want to get to know you. I want you to do your green sheet, go through it with you. And now the relationship forever because I'm not leaving and hopefully you're not leaving and we can have a great relationship. Get you, your family, your children, your friends, your co-workers, everybody protected. It's not about insurance, it's about protection. And not only that, we need your money to grow. If your money's
Mhm.
growing as you think about it and get closer to retirement, the picture looks bright instead of
Mhm.
dim and grim. You know, I tell everybody, I don't want you to retire and have to get a job. I want you to retire. If you want to get a job, that's on you, but
Right. You get tired of
let's
sitting there, then you go get a
yeah,
job.
let's set your retirement up so whichever way the ball bounces, you won't be worried about it because
Absolutely.
your retirement is secure.
All right. So it's my understanding you have an event coming up. Would you like to put a plug in for that?
So we will be at Shimawaza Park in Richmond, Virginia, Saturday, September 27th from noon to 7 p.m. for the East End Music Festival. It is a fundraiser event for Richmond Public Schools, and all donations will buy musical instruments for all of Richmond Public School students who are in orchestra, band, and all of that type of stuff. So it's about buying instruments for the Richmond Public Schools. And that, again, another way that I give back.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Always giving back to the arts because we definitely
Yes.
need more arts in our
Yes.
communities. So,
Yes.
wrapping up, the last thing I want to ask you is to talk for a second to the people who are on the fence, who are worried about the stigmas associated with life insurance. What would you say to those people, whether it be clients or agents?
I would say, no matter what side of the fence you're on, if you're on the fence, let's talk. Let's have a conversation because a lot of the stigmas and things that you think of is just stuff that you heard. So what I would like to do is bring the facts to you. I will show you rather than just say it. I've had situations with clients, somebody close to me, family member, and they said, my financial advisor said that this policy you showed us is no good. I said, so did he tell you or did he show you? And they was like, no, he just said it. I said, well, okay, let's stop right there. Let me show you. I said, I showed you your illustration. I emailed you your illustration. I said, he just told you it was no good. I said, but you know why? It's like, why? I said, because he works for a company. He doesn't get paid unless he gets a commission for doing the work, and so do I, but his company is where he wants you to be. I
Right.
want you to be in the best product. I have over 85 carriers that are in partnership with me. I want you in the best product. He just wants you at his company, his product. He has only one product, and that's where he wants you. I have
Wow.
over 85. I'm going to pick the best one for you because it has the best growth, the best budget, fits your budget, and the best living benefits to go with it. So, and that's what I'm going to do. And so then they were like, okay, we need to think about it. I said, well, thinking about it puts yourself at risk because I don't know how many people have waited and waited and waited, and then bang, something happens, like
Then they
cancer.
can't be covered.
You're right. Right. You're just
Wow.
one doctor's visit away from not being able to be covered.
Yeah. Well, one
Yeah.
incident, and yeah, you might not even make it to the doctor's office.
Right.
Wow. So thank you, Tony, so very much. This has
Thank
been
you.
very
Thank you, LaShonda. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you having this conversation with me. I really do.
absolutely looking forward
Yes.
to more. Y'all, once
Yes.
again, thank you for tapping in. This is where wisdom speaks, where we just bring insurance and experts throughout the community. It doesn't necessarily have to be insurance, but we want to make sure that y'all are plugged in, make sure that you understand what your options are so that you can make educated decisions. So all of the
Yeah.
information from today's interview will be in our bio and in the comments. So please lock in. There's no excuses. You got somebody on your team who looks like you, who can help you to get where you want to be and beyond. So we look forward to hearing from y'all. Make sure you let me know when you talk to Tony how that amazing conversation goes. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Sacred Plug signing
All
off.
right. Thank you.
Thank you.